What triggers a Sagittarius placement's crash out? When a Sagittarius crashes out, whether it's their sun, moon, or rising, it's like watching a fire burn out of control before finally extinguishing itself. Sagittarius placements are usually the optimists of the zodiac, always aiming to see the big picture, staying hopeful, and spreading positivity. But when they reach a breaking point, they respond in ways that surprise other people with their bluntness, their sudden isolation, or their escapism. The most common sign of a Sagittarius crash out is the need for complete freedom and space. Sagittarius values freedom naturally, but when they're overwhelmed or cornered, their first instinct is usually to run. This might look like disappearing from social circles, taking an impromptu trip, or avoiding obligations and people who demand too much. They distance themselves emotionally and physically, looking to reset away from anyone or anything that feels like a cage. The second sign of a Sagittarius crash out is extreme honesty, sometimes to the point of brutal bluntness. Sagittarius placements are known for being straightforward, but when they crash out, this honesty can turn very cutting and too straightforward. They'll say exactly what's on their mind, no sugarcoating, and this can be shocking for the people close to them who might not be prepared for the level of candor that comes out. Their words might come across as harsh, but for Sagittarius, it's a release of what they've been holding inside, and they believe the truth needs to be heard. A third indicator of a Sagittarius crash out is self-destructive escapism. Sagittarius placements have a natural urge for exploration and adventure, but in a crash out, this urge can manifest as avoidance through excess. They might binge on thrill-seeking behaviors, so like partying, spontaneous spending, or doing risky activities to avoid confronting their feelings, and this escape route can be really destructive for them, but it's the only way that they might feel like they need to release what's going on with them. Now, why are Sagittarius placements crashing out in the first place? There are a few reasons. Number one, obviously loss of freedom or feeling trapped. Sagittarius placements can't stand the feeling of feeling boxed in, whether it's through relationships or work or expectations. If they feel tied down, they're going to run. And this usually involves breaking commitments or leaving situations abruptly, in an attempt to reclaim their freedom and autonomy. Number two, betrayal of trust. If you break their trust, they can become very cynical or jaded, questioning their once positive views of you, which can lead to a really not good period of isolation or bitterness. Number three, intellectual or philosophical clashes. Sagittarius thrives on ideas and exploration, so when they're met with rigid thinking or feeling misunderstood, they can get very frustrated. If they're unable to express themselves freely, it creates this tension, and this crash out often looks like withdrawing from people who just don't get it or finding new social circles where they feel intellectually and philosophically aligned. And number four, feeling unfulfilled or stagnant. Sagittarius needs constant growth and adventure and new horizons, and when life feels too routine or uninspiring, they can crash out, losing motivation and abandoning their commitments. For more astrology content, follow the Instagram link in the bio or book a reading with me.